Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen. In these videos, I guide you through creating a little piece of art using the Zentangle method of drawing. Today I'm using a 2" by 2" tile, a Micron 03 pen, a Zentangle brand graphite pencil for shading, and a tortillon for blending. Please feel free to use whatever you have on hand. If you're using a larger piece of paper, perhaps you can just draw a little 2" square to work in today. All right, with Zentangle, we like to start with 4 dots in the corner. I'm sorry about that. Then we connect those dots lightly using our pencil. This creates a nice little frame for our piece. And today, I'm actually going to draw a pumpkin and we're going to tangle inside that pumpkin. So I'm going to go to the middle of my tile and I'm going to go just up, maybe a centimeter above that. And I'm going to draw my pumpkin. I'm going to let him come off the edge a little bit and come down. Basically making like a heart shape. And then in the middle, I'm going to add a little bump. I'm going to make a stem. And I'm going to add some leaves. Then from that middle, I'm going to make a C shape coming down this way. And a backwards C coming down this way. If you're happy with that, go ahead and pick up your pen. And I'm going to trace the outside of this pumpkin. And I'm going to trace the lines inside today. Okay, on this left-hand side, I'm going to start with Crescent Moon. Crescent Moon, we make these little bumps. And then we add an aura, which is a line around the shape. And I'm just going to continue around. Maybe this one I will have come right off the side of that one. I love how these start to overlap so quickly in this small area. So this tangle is called Crescent Moon. It was created by the Zentangle Company. It was one of their first tangles they made. I'm going kind of quickly just so I can fit everything in the 15 minutes, but please feel free to slow down. See how they're just bumping into each other? And then for this middle spot, I can just pick anywhere to add a bump and add some lines. I've got some extra space here, so I'm just going to continue auraing that one that's the furthest away. All right, I'm going to hop on over to this side and I'm going to work on something called Printemps. Printemps, I like to start with a little dot. And then we start making this spiral shape around and closing it off. spiral shape. I'm already bumping into this, so I'm going to jump up my pen and come out the other side. So to fit one in here, I'm just going to start my spiral, lifting my pen every time I hit an edge or I bump into another printemps. Printemps is fun because you can make them any size, and I think they always look beautiful. Now here I've got some extra space, so I'm just going to fill that in as if my spiral kept going. Tucking one in there. Using this small of a piece of paper really makes these fill up quickly. All right, now for the middle, I thought we would throw in Henna Drum, just because I think it's kind of a fun fall look. So for Henna Drum, we start with a bump, kind of like Crescent Moon. We aura it one time, and then we create these little, and kind of make it into a sunshine. Then we create these little petals that go around the outside of it. And that's Henna Drum. And I'm going to aura on the outside. And I'm going to add some little details to the inside. Some little lines. And then I'm going to put one this way, even though I don't have much room left. It's going to sort of tuck behind. So make my bump, make my aura, and then imagine these sort of sunshine rays coming out. I have no room to make more, but I can add a few of those little details. And I can aura the outside of that. I have the space left here, so I can go ahead and add some auras just to fill it in. Then I'm going to outline my leaves and do the line in the middle. And on my leaves, I'm just going to make these little V shapes to fill it in. Feel free to make your leaves have any of the other Zentangles that you know. And then I'm going to outline my stem. And for the stem, I'm going to add some lines, but I'm going to lift up my pen in the middle to give it a little bit of a shine. It just makes it look a little more rounded. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to ink in my frame, lifting my pen each time that it hits that pumpkin. And then I'm going to add some little swirls. So in between the leaf and the pumpkin here, I'm just going to take my pen and make some little loop-de-loops. Looks like a little pumpkin vine. All right, I'm gonna pick up my pencil and do some shading. So to shade this pumpkin, typically we shade each individual little pattern, but I'm gonna shade the whole shape. So I'm gonna start by taking my graphite pencil and putting down some pretty heavy graphite all along the outside edge of this pumpkin. I know it's hard to see in this lighting, but I'm putting it down pretty heavy. And then I'm going to do both sides of each of these lines. And both sides of this line. So I'll do the inside and the outside of that line. Then I pick up my tortillon. If you don't have a tortillon, please feel free to use a Q-tip or the corner of a Kleenex. And I'm just going to soften by pulling that dark part out towards the middle just a little bit. And what that does is it sort of makes this part, the edge, look like it's going back further away from the eye. And this middle part that's more white is closest to our eye. I'm going to do that on this side. And then to this last one. It really makes our pumpkin look like it has some 3D dimension. All right, for the leaves, I'm going to put some graphite on this inside line, and then also some in that bottom part here where it tucks in to the pumpkin. And some on this line, and some down in that little spot where it tucks into the pumpkin. With my tortillon, I'm just going to spread this a little bit and keep that area dark down here. Gives our leaves a little bit of dimension. And the last thing is this stem. My tortillon already has some graphite on it, so I'm just going to put some on both sides, leaving that center piece nice and white. And then I'm just going to kind of follow along over here and follow along over here, just to give it a little bit of a shadow. And then I'm going to put some graphite on the outside of this little frame that I made. And on the outside over here. And just spread that out a little bit and soften it. You always want the darkest part to be closest to the line, and you want it to get lighter as you go away from it. And there's our cute little pumpkin. We always initial our work. So go ahead and find a spot to write your initials. And on the back, I'm going to list the tangles that we used. So we used Henna Drum, Crescent Moon, and Printemps. I also add the date, and I add one line of journal entry, something that's on my mind or in my heart this week. That's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for following along.